Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. Happy early Halloween, and happy Halloween to those of you who are watching tomorrow or already in Halloween, where it is already Halloween in a time zone that is not here. Thank you for joining. As always, we got some stuff to talk about today, I guess. Got some questions to answer. Wow, all of my words are coming out in the wrong order today. And yes, the US has not changed the daylight savings time this week. We change next week, which means Rich is able to join from the UK since they've already changed over. Thank you for joining. Okay, today we've got I got some things set up and planned. I've got my Halloween themed background. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning after a long time away, welcome back. Thanks for being here. You may have noticed the chat is set to subscribers only, and that's just to keep some of the spammers at bay because they tend to just ignore it if they can't get their message in and out. So that's the reason. Please do subscribe though if you are enjoying this channel. If you have a question, feel free to drop questions in the chat at any point. Start them with the letter Q, and I will see them on a different column on the screen here. It makes it easier to find them. I may not answer right away, but I will get to it when it makes the most sense. Rough plan for today. I want to talk about the vlog I published last week about going to get the BGH1 cameras, and I filmed the B-roll with a couple of different cameras I brought with me, so we'll talk about that. And then maybe we'll just talk about action cameras and BGH1s today. We'll see. Yes, so... Oh, Raul says, by the way, they sold all the cameras. So last I heard, Chris had left a comment on the video saying they had 4 left, but eBay was still dealing with their... was still... locked them out of their account because they needed to get verification. But it looks like the listing is not back online yet. So either that's because they are in fact out of the last 4, or eBay is still sleeping on the job. The wood turning tool store bought 2 of the BGH1s. Have you found a way to control some actions from a Stream Deck? I haven't tried yet. I don't know what that would take yet. But definitely I will be investigating that for sure, because of course I would like to be able to do that. BGH1's on the table. Yeah, I haven't finished setting everything up in here. It's still a bit of a mess in here. I have a whole project going on in here, which is like not relevant. Actually, it's only sort of relevant to this space. It's all connected. So my, I had the small rig photo shoot in here, or video shoot with B&H a couple weeks ago now. So that meant setting things up to be able to have like 4 lights on to try out all the different new lights they were doing, and like everything was just rearranged for that. But then I also been wanting to clean things up a little bit, so I got new shelves for the room next door, which is behind that wall. It's just like an unfinished garage space. So that whole wall is now full of shelves. I literally just finished assembling last night, and because I had to take everything out of that room to build the shelves, there's a lot of stuff in here and upstairs that's just scattered. It's just a mess. So I'm not going to show you around the room right now because it is complete chaos except in this little rectangle. And my plan for this afternoon is to go put everything back on the shelves that now exist. They're really nice shelves. I'm so happy. And that'll help clean things up in here. And then the bigger change is that we decided that the new house that is now being built Lily's going to take that office as her own. We were originally going to split it, and then we realized that like actually we haven't enjoyed having a shared office at our apartment. So let's not recreate that. So she's going to take the whole room, and I'm just going to keep this room, but I'm going to turn this into not only my studio. It's going to become my regular full-time work from home office. So more layout changes in here are coming very soon. and haven't totally decided, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do. I just can't do anything until I can move stuff out of here back into that storage closet. So that is the deal with the new studio layout. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, you should see some pretty big changes and new angles. I'm actually going to move my desk from home into here early, like before we move in, just because there's no reason not to. I'm barely using it at home anyway. I mostly sit on the couch at home and take my meetings from the couch. So, yep. Cool. Oh, have kids. I'm used to seeing messes in the house. Well, yes. Brian says, Mix Effect now 1.7 runs in the background on iOS 16. Did you have a look yet? Mine used to lose connection to the ATEM, hoping for a change. I do think that's going to be related to that change. Yeah, he's using the new APIs that let it do run in the background with like the picture-in-picture thing that like video apps use. Very cool. I haven't actually tried since the update myself yet, but I am excited for that. I think it will help. My EV Adventure says, did you realize that you can't update the firmware on the BGH1? You need to have battery inserted, even if you try over Ethernet. That does not match my experience. I updated the firmware on all 7 of mine by just plugging in Ethernet, no battery. It seemed to work just fine. I don't know what problems you had otherwise. Okay. Let's scroll back through to see if there's any other. No. Okay, great. Let's talk about the vlog. So the BGH1 vlog that I published, I think it was last week, finished that off. It was a lot of fun to put together. First time doing like a vloggy thing on this channel, really. I haven't done much of that at all. I'm not super great at it, but it was fun. And when I went down to LA, I was like, I'm only going for a couple hours. What cameras am I realistically going to use when I am in the middle of, actually just doing a bunch of logistics? So I was, going, getting in a car, going to the office, picking up the cameras. Not a lot of time to like deal with settings on cameras or tripods. So I was like, what cameras can I actually realistically bring? And I decided to not even bring the ZV-1. And because I was just like, you know what, even that is just too much. It's just too much. So instead, I brought GoPro and DJI Action 2 with the little front screen, which I actually ended up not really using at all the entire time. And of course, my iPhone. And I went between the 3 a fair bit, and I'm not sure, didn't really think too much about it. It was mostly just like, what's going to be the most convenient for the thing I'm doing? And I thought it'd be fun to see if you could guess which cameras I used for each of the segments. I don't know if anybody noticed that they were wildly different cameras, but it was sometimes hard to tell depending on the shot, and sometimes it's pretty obvious. So that's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. Picture quality has dropped. Audio is okay. I have a feeling that it is your YouTube player dropped down the resolution. It just does that sometimes. Other people are saying quality is fine. Yeah. If your YouTube player suddenly popped you to a lower resolution, then double check in the little gear icon that you're in HD. A little more saturated camera color today, but looks good for Halloween. Yeah, I actually have my lights are different for today. So I've got here. I can actually show you a little bit about what is on my desk. I've got my normal light here, but then I've got these little 2 flickering lights, which I think I'm going to turn off for this next bit because they're kind of distracting. And then behind there is actually a orange-ish colored light that is what you see on this side. It's way down into like the 2700 range. And then I turned off the normal hair light from the back, which I can turn it back on. It would look like that, but I decided to just leave that one off. And Oh, then my background is red instead of orange because I felt like it was more contrasting with the little Edison bulbs. That's the word. So yeah, new colors today. Can't tell the lights are flashing from your front view. It's very subtle. It's supposed to look like a warm fire. I can see it if you look for it, but they are more distracting to me than they are helpful to you. So I'm gonna turn them off now. There we go. So, yes. What am I doing? Right. So, we're going to play a little game. I'm going to use the wonderful tool from John Barker, here to record cloud graphics, which he tells me may be getting replaced by something else soon, but we're going to do it anyway. So, join here. Click on that link, and I'm going to show that on the screen also. Oh, if I can find my right window. I don't know if that QR code is big enough to actually scan, or if the text is big enough to see, but that's where it's going to pop up when I push out the question. Oh, I have a big one. That's right. So go ahead and get logged in here. Should just be able to join from a phone or a computer, scan the QR code, or type in the URL, which is kind of long, enter that code. And then we are going to push up some questions. Oh, and while you're doing that, Philip has a great question. How long did it take you to edit the final vlog, and how many B-roll shots were pre-planned versus how often did you have to go searching for B-roll or stock footage to help fill out the storyline? That's a really good question. The way that I did it was I first started out the day with absolutely no plan. Other than just getting there. And I was like, oh, this is going to be really hard to edit. And then what I did was while I was, what was it? It was, I think it was while I was in the airport on the way there even. It was like pretty early on in the day. Of course, after I already got to the airport. That I was like, I need a better plan. So what I did was I actually wrote out a rough outline of the whole video. It was, let me see if I can show this. There's a way to pull out a float selected note. Is that the word? That's the word. I don't want to show you all of my notes. So what I did was I wrote out basically a full outline in Notepad and of the shots that I wanted and when I was going to say stuff in the middle, and then use that as my shot list during the day. So then it was like, okay, well, I'm about to do this next part, and I know I'm going to be coming home, so I'm going to then try to get a bunch of shots in that order. And that was the plan. So most of the shots I had the correct shots by the time I was ready because I had planned it out ahead of time, and there were only two that I used from Storyblocks. And I'm actually curious if anybody could figure out which two shots were from Storyblocks. If you have any ideas, put them in the chat. I'll let that sit for a while before I tell you. Oh, Peter, good evening. Missed the start. You're an hour earlier than I expected. Yep. This is the week that Europe changed time, but US has not, so everything is chaos. Good luck with all your meetings this week. Yeah, the QR code in the corner is too small to capture. Okay, here it is again, big, just in case you haven't joined. So now that we've got everybody up in there, what I'm going to first do is play a couple seconds of a clip and then push out a poll, and you have to tell me which camera I used to film it. So, oh, let me make sure that the sound is like not going to blast you with that. I want just a little bit of background noise from the video. There we go. Okay, so first of all, First of all, let's do this one. And let me get my layout created and push this out. Oh, let me think about the timing here. We're on like 3 seconds delay. I think that's okay. I don't think it matters to push this out early. So the poll is up. There we go. And the clip is about to run.
All bags and larger items, including laptops and tablets and keyboards, are completely underneath the seats in front of you. Smaller devices should be unplugged from seat power, in airplane mode, and held or secured.
All right. Any guesses? Seeing a lot of guesses for the iPhone. Couple for the DJI Action. Ooh, iPhone is winning a lot on this one. Oh, I forgot to cue up my sound effects. Do I have my sound effects? I do. All right. We're going to wait for a couple more responses to come in. I don't think I have a way to highlight the correct answer on this software. All right. Drum roll. Let's see if the drum roll works. The answer is iPhone 13. You are correct. All right, let's get rid of that. Most people got that one, 70%. Good guesses. The fast shutter speed is what makes me think the iPhone. Yep. Plane external was iPhone out the window of the plane. Yep. Okay, good guesses. So that one was... That was the out the window of the plane taking off. And I guess I did the iPhone because actually on the way there, I actually had a first class seat upgrade, and I got put in the very front row of the first class. And it's actually not my favorite seat because you can't put anything down in front of you. So I had to put all my bags up in the top, including the bag that had my camera. And so all I had at that point was my iPhone in my pocket. So that's the camera I used. I pretty much prefer seat number 2, row 2. That way you actually can put stuff underneath the seat in front of you. Okay, speaking of first class seat, here's a very short one of eating the little first class meal. Let's run this one. Here we go. It's very short. So I'm going to push out clear the results. There we go. And push out the poll. Okay, here we go. All right, any guesses on that one? We can roll it. We can roll it again. I think this is gonna be a tricky one. Let's see what people think. What do people think? And feel free to, in the chat, also drop your ideas about why. Oh, I should put a little thing in the chat when I do that. That way I can tell when the comments are coming in. Okay, getting some good thoughts coming in here. Eric says, gimbal, so DJI. Nils, oh, it's not showing up over the... Let me reorder the layers here. I want chat to be... Why is the chat... Oh, are the layers the other way around? No? Interesting. I don't know how to work layers in OBS. That's odd. We don't get to see the chat when the poll is up. That's the answer. Okay, so we're getting some votes for the DJI because of the gimbal, because of the edge distortion. Good thinking. Super wide angle. Okay, ready? The answer is... The answer is the DJI Action 2. That is the answer. And most people got that one right, although fewer than last time, 55%. Okay, let's take a look at the... I really need to copy this sound effect button to the right screen. Where is that? Copy the drum roll to... Where can I clobber? I can clobber that one. I don't care about that one. Great. The not enough barrel distortion for the GoPro. Okay, that's a good point. Guessing DJI due to the not so great color and contrast. Okay, yep. The distortion like DJI edge distortion makes me think GoPro, and we got a vote for it looks like a gimbal, so it's a DJI. So that was the DJI Action 2, which is this one. So this is the, where's my camera? Focus, there we go. This is the little DJI Action 2. It's super tiny, and it is, one of the reasons I like it is because of just how small it is and because it has this little necklace. So it's magnetic, clasps onto that, and then you can wear it, although it does dangle quite a bit. So, and then it's, yeah, it's super tiny. Focus on the camera, please. This is the one downside of the LUMIX camera compared to the Sony. Not as good autofocus. But yeah, very easy to hold. Although I was noticing in some of my shots, I actually got my hand in the shot because it's such a wide angle that if you hold it a little bit wrong, then you end up getting your hand in the shot. Brian, yeah, the DJI is the easiest to hold while eating. That is true. Nil says, not a huge fan of action cameras. I've got DJI Action 1 and not used it once. Well, you got to try it then before you can give up on it completely. Layers change. Just shift the layer one up. The layers will show in order they stack. Which way though? Because they're not doing that because the poll was on top of the chat. I don't know why. Okay, so that was the DJI Action 1. Let's do another one. Let me see. How about this one? Yeah, here we go. This is a little 20-second clip. So let's push out the poll. I'm going to put a little line in the chat. And did that work? It did work. And that way I know when people are commenting on this one. And here we go. Oh, wrong one. Wrong button. iPad. So by this time, it was late. It was nighttime, so everything is pretty dark. So I'm really curious what you think did the best in low light, essentially. That's what this one comes down to, is which of these cameras did the best in the low light scenario of it being now 8 p.m. by the time I got home and inside of a dark airport and on the street waiting for the car. Getting some, nobody thinks it was a DJI Action 2, fair. And got a pretty split results otherwise. That is interesting. Gonna wait for a few more people to answer. Oh, and if you are looking at this now and you can't scan that QR code, here is the bigger version of it again. Just as a reminder, if you want to play along. Got a couple, I see only a couple more people who haven't responded. That's a nice feature. Thanks, John. It tells me how many people are logged in and how many people have responded so I can see when like to expect it to stop. Okay, responses have tapered off. So the answer to this clip is it's the iPhone 13. It is, in fact. Most people got it right, but there was a pretty strong contingent there for the GoPro 10. I put in the LUMIX GH5 Mark II in here to throw you off, which worked because normally you'd expect that camera to do very well in low light, which it does. I did not bring it with me. So if you are wondering if anything shot on the street is a GH5 Mark II, it's not. But I think that is actually pretty impressive of the low light. So let me scroll back through here because there's a couple things that I wanted to mention. Let's see, I think I've got this one set up right. Yeah. So the indoor airport, this one, I noticed there were quite a lot of artifacts in this one. And this is because it's a very dark basement of the airport there. And I think I used the 3x lens on this one also to get the nice close-up shot. Waiting for the bags to come out. And then, again, it's indoors. So just indoor lighting, not super great, but the phone did okay. I personally think that this one looks really good. And I'm pretty impressed with... I know it's like, a lot of artificial lights, but it's still dark out there. And this makes it look nice and crisp. So I thought that was interesting. What are people saying in the comments about? Yeah, I got some iPhone will do better in low light. Oh, let me clear the responses. The iPhone has the best auto settings. Yeah, iPhone is pretty impressive in low light. Smooth panning suggests stabilization. The only stabilization is whatever the iPhone 13 is doing, which is not the new fancy one that the iPhone 14 has. So it's just me holding it in my hand. How I know it's an iPhone is a lot of artifacts in the footage. There were a couple of times I noticed that. Oh, good question, Brian. Did I use Filmic Pro? No, everything shot on the iPhone 13 I shot in just the regular camera app. So basically all auto settings and not in ProRes. I didn't use the ProRes thing because it turns out like when you enable the ProRes recording on the iPhone, it's like, we're going to clear up some space to make room for all this video we're about to shoot. And then it just takes a long time. And I haven't actually been able to wait long enough to get it to record a clip. Philip says, I picked the GoPro first before the entire clip played when we got to the outdoor scene. Yeah, it is interesting that the indoor shots were, they were fine, but definitely the outdoor night was pretty a lot more clean. Just thinking about ease of use, the iPhone wins for getting it out of a pocket and shooting a quick shot. I would assume the others are packed away. That's a very good point, Scott. I think that is a pretty much how I approached it was, if I was like actually trying to get somewhere, I'm focusing on getting there. And secondly, I'm shooting it. And sometimes I was just carrying too much stuff and I couldn't like get another camera out, or the other camera. Well, the DJI Action does fit in my pocket, which is nice, but the otherwise the iPhone, it's just there. It's just always there. The GoPro is like, it's a little bit too bulky to fit in my pocket, frankly. It's a lot thicker than the DJI. So if you look at the depth, the DJI is significantly thinner than the GoPro 10. The GoPro 7 with the old form factor is a lot nicer, actually, a lot smaller. Come on, you can do it. There we go. But yeah, the DJI Action is a lot thinner, so it slides into a pocket a lot better. So I wasn't putting the GoPro in my pocket very much at all, unless I knew I was about to go and do a series of things that would be good on the GoPro. Oh, Nathaniel, yeah, you should check out the compression on the studio shots from the vlog. They're a bit rough. So I don't know what happened, but I think it was honestly a glitch with YouTube, because I noticed that it was a little bit more compressed than normal, and then I got a bunch of comments saying like, why was what's different about your video. Why is it so compressed? And I honestly think it was YouTube doing something to it, because I checked the source file and it does not look that bad. So I think YouTube, when they recompressed it, did something different that day. And I know they have been rolling out a bunch of changes, and they do that kind of stuff all the time. So I'm just gonna like check my next video ahead of time before I actually make it public next time, because I didn't actually watch it back on YouTube, which I normally do, and see if it happens again. Now Nils says, now the question is if this is all out of camera. I'm trying to remember. Almost all of it is just straight out of camera, no adjustments. And there were a couple of exceptions, and I don't remember what they were, unfortunately. The only adjustments, though, were, it was like slight color tweaks in a couple of scenes that I thought would look better differently. And I can't remember which scenes they were now. But yeah, most of it is straight out of camera. The thing is, I had to do a double take that wasn't an issue on my end, and I watched on 2 different devices. I did that too, frankly. After I saw it, I was like, is it really, like, really, did that happen? Let me just pull it up here. Because, like, most of the videos of the vlog where it's, like, random cameras all over the place, so I wasn't, like, super surprised. But, yeah, I was super surprised that the studio shots looked so blocky compared to normal. Let me see, do I have, yeah. Oh, there we go. Well, now actually it doesn't look that bad. It's definitely not as crisp as normal, but it's not as bad as I remember it being. So maybe they've recompressed it. Go watch it again. Tell me if you think it's if they recompressed it, because it was noticeable, and I got a lot of comments about it. Here is the BGH1 vlog video. So interesting, yeah. Oh, Wood Turning Tool Store says, what lens are you using on the overhead BGH1? That is the 25mm that I have on there right now, which I threw on at the last second. I think I like having a zoom lens on there so I can change how much of the desk you see. But I think the zoom lens that I was using is occupied by something else right now. I don't remember where it went. So I just threw the 25 on there. Okay. Let's do another one. So here is the poll. If you are just now joining and haven't logged into here and you can't read that code, here is the big version of it. I'm going to queue up another clip here, and we're going to... Oh yeah, we'll do this one. Okay, this will be interesting. So here is the clip. Tell me about what Live Control does. What's this one, where I'm asking for info about what Live Control does. Also, notable is that the sound from this camera is straight out of camera, no external microphones. So if you think back to, I don't think you can hear the, can you hear that? Oh yeah, I'm talking over him talking very quietly. The audio from the dialogue is the built-in microphone of whichever camera this is. And at the distance that I'm at. So no funny stuff going on there. Getting some pretty mixed results here. Let's just let that play again while we wait for the answers to come in. Got about half of the responses so far.
In the world, we produce over 1,000 live events every single week across 49 states. We're in education, house of worship, Broadway, top jazz clubs, do it all. And essentially what we'll do is we'll install robotic cameras.
And then in the chat, make sure you drop in why.
Proprietary camera control cloud software. So we've got 1,000 remote videographers, and we produce a ton of cool stuff every week.
All right. You ready? Got almost everybody. Almost everybody in. Gonna call it here. Ready? The answer is It is, in fact, the GoPro 10. Most of you got it right. You all are very good at this. This is, I'm impressed. The GoPro 10. So that was just me holding the GoPro about, I don't know, 5 feet from his face, and just he's talking at the GoPro. So the audio came out good enough, in my opinion. And yeah, it did pretty good. The DJI Action probably would have been quite a bit worse at that because it was relatively low light there. There was just the light on the side of his face. So the office wasn't super bright. So I think the DJI Action would have been a lot worse. iPhone probably would have been completely acceptable also at that point. So, but I was using the GoPro in there quite a bit. So that's what that one was. I think it did pretty good at being a good little interview camera. Rich says GoPro due to the lens distortion. The not on the widest setting. Yeah, I believe I put it into. I know I had it in. I wish I had written this down. The linear mode. I think. I know I had it in linear mode for quite a lot of the shots. Nils says it's always a coin flip between the DJI and GoPro. I can't tell them apart. I bet you can tell them apart on the inside shots. On the outside shots, the DJI Action is extremely close to the GoPro, in my opinion. But on the low light interior shots, it is significantly worse. Alex says what gave it away was the colors and the wide angle. Bread of Life says the low light smush details gave it away. Brian says with the iPhone, you could use a wireless Go 2 for a better sound. I mean, I could have plugged an external mic into any of these cameras, although wait, not the DJI. Oh no, I think it takes a USB mic on the little breakout thing. Could have done a media mod on this to make it as big as the ZV-1. Could have brought the dongle for my iPhone to connect, or a USB cable. Did not care enough to do that. And I think the sound was okay anyway. Yeah. Oh, okay. Back on the compression. Some scenes are still super blocky in the vlog, and Nathaniel checked it out and it's bad at 105. Interesting. Okay. I'm so curious about that. About why that happened. Oh yeah. Oh wow, it's really bad at 105. Gosh. It's even worse than I remember. Look at that. So why did it do it there, but then not? Now it's clearing it up. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to double check though next time. Oh well. The Wood Tuning says, what zoom lens would you put on the overhead BGH1? I'm looking at a zoom lens for my setup. Probably the 12 to 35, because again, right now this shot is 25 millimeters. So 15 would let me go a little bit wider, and then 35 would be a little bit more close. And this camera is not that far away from me or from the desk. So it depends on the height of the camera. Where is this? This camera is up here. So it's about 2 feet up from the desk. So it's actually pretty close. If you're going to have it higher up, which you might, then obviously a longer lens will help better there. Nathaniel says, my guess is it missed a keyframe or something because everything else looks fine. Yeah. The vlog compression artifacts don't make any sense. Low and no motion as artifacts, high motion doesn't. Maybe okay, where's my hard drive? Now I'm curious. I want to go dig up that file again. I don't think I exported it to my backup yet. Let me see if it's on my network. Otherwise, I'm gonna dig this up because I'm quite annoyed by it. Did I back it up already? No, I didn't yet. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the drive when I put another one of these clips up. So let's take a look at, yeah, this one. Okay. This is like a 20-second. Okay, so here we go. Join the poll here. And then I'm going to roll this clip in a second. So which camera was this one filmed with? Ooh, getting pretty strong consensus here. Also tell me why in the comments, why you think this is the camera you think it is. Because I'm very curious. And I've got my hard drive. For some reason, my Mac Mini refuses to mount this hard drive. But my MacBook Air, both are M1s. My Air is fine with it. So I don't know why I can't launch that on the other computer. Okay. We got some votes for, Rich says Action 2, worn with the cord you showed us, neck lanyard DJI. It looks like you used the comments are behind the thing again. Why are they behind that? Can I... because I had the wrong layer selected. There we go. What is that layer? Some random thing. There we go. I was moving the wrong layer on OBS. That's why it didn't work. We've got, moving. You were using the magnetic to have two hands. Good catch. Stabilization is not as good as the GoPro. It's dangling from your neck while you use both hands to pack the cameras. Oh, but then Scott said it seems to be mounted on a head strap, which is the other way it could be. Okay, so let's take a look at that again. One more time. There's a couple things that I want to point out on this. Let me roll that. Let me reveal though. The answer is, to nobody's surprise, the DJI Action 2. Most of you got it correct. Most of you got it right. Great job. So let's take a look. What I thought was interesting about this was, where is it? That button. There we go. Again, we're inside, so it's low light, but the motion blur and the artifacts are pretty rough. Anytime it bumps, and also it's swinging on my neck, so it's pretty rough. It's, but honestly, that was like the best shot because I was actually carefully controlling the camera. Yeah, not super great at low light, frankly. The stabilization is too bad to be the GoPro. Yeah. Sadly, the DJI Action 2 is not super great indoors. That is what I've learned. And I'm probably not going to try it again indoors because it's pretty bad. But hey, I thought it would make an interesting thing to check out here. Okay, I'm going to pull up my export and look at 105, which is where the real blocky bits were happening. And see if it's in the source file. And, oh, it is. It is, it turns out. Let me share this with you. How am I going to do that? I think I'm going to do it over AirPlay. Yes, I realize that doing this over AirPlay is adding in more compression, but I think it doesn't matter for this example. This is from which button am I pressing? This button. So this is playing back the file I exported from Resolve. And I do, in fact, see the blocky bits. Oh, there was a keyframe. I do, in fact, see the blocky bits in the vlog or the talking head. Where is it? Where is it? Right after this. There we go. You can probably see it here too. It's pretty bad. And then we got a keyframe and it cleared up. Yeah, it's like it missed a keyframe. I think it missed a keyframe from transitioning from this to here. And it got messed up until the 2 seconds went by and we got a new keyframe and then it cleared up. There it is. Well, some of it cleared up and then we've got it blocky again. And then later on, I thought it looked okay in YouTube. So where was that? Back at the end. Yeah, not nearly as blocky at the end. So bad export from Resolve, I guess, is the answer. What's weird is that I literally didn't change anything. Like, I used my normal export settings from Resolve, and I guess I just got unlucky in that export. I normally export as MP4, and it normally looks fine. So, Philip says, have you thought about exporting as ProRes instead of compressing for YouTube? We'll see. I'll try that next time and see if YouTube screams at me for uploading a 20 gigabyte file. But yeah. Oh, Ari says, is that the other stuff you got? They said you were there at a good time. Yeah, they were doing a clean out because they were moving offices too, which is why everything was packed up in boxes. But I got some other random like HDMI cables and SDI cables that they didn't need, which I was like, I can always use more of those. And then most of the big Pelican case was actually full of the empty boxes of the cameras though. So, yep. Thank you, Brian. 104 viewers, 21 likes. Find the mistake. Give us a thumbs up. Thanks, Brian. Okay. Let me see if there's any other ones that are particularly interesting. Otherwise, we may be done with this game. Should we do... Here's one. We'll do this one. It's another, it's the other interview. It's the other interview shot. Rich says, I've always exported in ProRes from Resolve and then use Handbrake to convert to H.264. It's interesting because normally I've never had a problem with the H.264 in Resolve, although Photo Joseph also says that he exports ProRes and then uses compressor to convert to H.264 to upload that. And so I may have to do something like that next time. Okay, here we go again. Last one. This is another talking head interview style. So we'll see what the consensus is here.
Fortunately, we were able
this was when I was in the car driving back to the airport very slowly in traffic, and we were chatting about the whole story about why they have this many cameras.
That left us with a ton of BGH1s.
I'm super excited for them.
So daylight, but shade from the car.
And I'm glad we're finding so
Again, the audio is just the built-in mics in whatever camera this is.
That's part of
and
with a lot of film marketing is not this live streaming world is so new. COVID helped it become a reality, but the hardware
did not use an external microphone for any of this because I did not have did not care enough. Okay. What's the thoughts on this? We've got some pretty mixed, pretty split results here. That's interesting. Getting some pretty split results between the GoPro and the iPhone. Okay, almost got a few more people joining, so I'll give you a chance to answer. And okay, here we go. The answer is it is in fact the GoPro 10, not the iPhone. Finally, something that not most people got correct. Interesting. That was the GoPro. That was, in fact, the GoPro 10 held out just at my arm. I did not bring a mount to mount it to the windshield. Otherwise, I would have put it on the windshield of the car in between us in the middle. And the yeah, that was, I think I used only a little bit of the first angle I had that at. Yeah. So here I was holding it on like the dashboard, and I was like, this is just really awkward to hold here. So then I stuck it on I went off to the side afterwards. That was a lot more comfortable. I would have preferred to have it on the windshield in the middle between us, but didn't have the time to, or didn't want to bring a mount for that. But yeah, just the audio was built-in microphone. One thing I did notice was I tried to cover it up by doing some processing to the audio for the video, but the GoPro, it does okay at dealing with ambient noise, and in the car there's obviously a lot of just random rumbling and stuff, but the first part of this video in the original file, it's actually pretty muffled, and then it like partway through the video it like snaps, and all of a sudden it sounds a lot more crisp. It's like the noise processing that they do is like, it's like it kicked in. It finally like learned what was going on. It was like, oh, there's the voice. And I don't know why it works that way, but but yeah, it was really interesting. So for the first part, I ended up using much less of the first bit of that dialogue because it was a lot worse. And then I tried to boost the levels and do more noise processing in Resolve. And yeah, so that was fun. Let's see. So what are people saying about that? iPhone audio would be better. I think I agree. Rich says cars moving background is not standard GoPro stabilization. Interesting. Good one. Colors like a GoPro, sharpness iPhone. Hyper sharpened, I say iPhone. Wide angle distortion looks like the GoPro. Yeah, and if it was my iPhone, it would have been really hard because the front camera is not as good on the 13. And if I turned it around, I wouldn't be able to see what I'm pointing at. So at least with the GoPro 10, it's got the little front screen. So I was taking advantage of that, which I haven't had a lot of use for before. Focus. Come on. There we go. The little front screen can show a little thumbnail of your video so you can at least see how you're framed. Obviously, it's not super huge picture, but it's enough to at least see the framing. Maybe your finger was covering the mic hole. That is an interesting thought. I actually hadn't considered that. There's more than one though, right? There's one on the front. There's an array on the front, and there's one up here. What are the odds are that I was covering the top one with holding it? It's possible. It's possible. I don't remember. Rich says, so the conclusion, use a GoPro if you need really good stabilization. Use an iPhone 13 for all the other stuff if you don't have any camera with you. Yeah. I will say, I was disappointed with the footage that I got from the DJI Action 2 for this trip, but that's mainly because I was using it indoors, and it's not good for that. So the cool thing is that you can just wear it around on the necklace, and it's just there. Oh yeah, that was also the, I won't do a poll for this one, but the shot of me getting into the car, that was also the DJI Action. So this was because obviously my two hands are putting the suitcase in, and I was like, I just want to get a little clip of this. And we're outside, but also inside because it's super shaded. There, you can see that whenever there's like a jolt, it's really bad at handling that. So if also, there's a bunch I didn't use from this, but footsteps. So if I was walking, every time I would hit the ground, if it's low light, it's really bad shaking. So yeah. Okay, that was fun. Nathaniel says, are you able to show the interface you're using from the H2R for polling? Yeah, although it's not super relevant now because they're going to rewrite it, but I will show you anyway. So this is what I was doing. I had a poll here. It gives you all these links to different ways to show the output. So this is the link I dropped in the chat. Then there's this screen is for the full screen QR code with that code that I showed. There's also the graphics output, which is what I put into OBS that shows the little, that's interesting. This looks like this looks bigger on this screen compared to what we're showing up in OBS. I wonder why. So in OBS, I went in and did this. H2R pull, 1920. Should I have just not shrunk it down? Is that what happened? No, that looks a lot smaller. I wonder if there's something going on with what it's reporting the sizes to the browser using it. Because like look at that. You're looking at my 1920 1080 screen shrunk down and the QR code's bigger. So something's going on with the resolution with the CSS there. Interesting. Anyway, and then when I want to actually push out a poll, there's you do push to audience, and then it tells you how many people are in the audience here, and then the votes start coming in, and you can see it here as well as it updates on the screen, which is in OBS, which I should now turn off. There we go. Are we gonna get a even split of every camera for this fake poll? Yeah, they did a good job with it. Oh, but I can clear that. And there's a couple other things. Add emoji reaction. Are you enjoying the show? And I can give emojis as options. That's fun. Oh, the cookie banner was in the way of the OK button. Add question. Push to the audience. Are you enjoying the show? And now you can answer. And let's pull it back up in the overlay. Let's see how this one works. Oh, and we get little counts of... I did not give you any options to say no. So there you go. And now everybody who clicked applause, party, or camera, please go give the video a thumbs up on YouTube so that they know. Okay. And then what was the other one? The other one was the open Q&A, which sounds dangerous. Let's see what that does. How are you feeling today? How about what is your favorite camera that I showed today? That checkbox UX is confusing. Sorry, John. I had a question. And we'll push this one out. Okay, so we'll let you answer that. I could have just put the poll up again, but you can type in whatever you want now. We'll see how that goes. Let me scroll through the comments here. Next time, shoot the camera you're shooting with another camera, and of course the camera to shoot that camera, I can see you cover with cameras like syrup on waffle. Yep. It would have been fun to do a little bit more behind the scenes stuff for that, but that was a behind the scenes for this channel, so that was about the layer I was at for that trip. Could you have put the necklace under your shirt for a bit more stability? I think that's what you're supposed to do, and I just didn't do it. Yeah, so the let's see. No, because it clips on like that, so that can't go under. Does it work with? No. You do need that top thing. So I don't know. You need the top thing, and then the camera goes like that, so I can't really put that into a shirt. Oh, wait. Yes, you can. They leave the top thing on the camera, of course. That's how you're supposed to do it. That would have been the smart thing to do. Drop that into the shirt, and then as long as your shirt's tight, it won't fly around, but like this shirt's kind of loose. It'd probably be a little bit better this way, but the camera is kind of heavy compared to the shirts I wear. Yeah. Matt says, I hate GoPro, but my use was back when I worked with NASCAR, Fox Sports. If you hold the item that you present closer to the table, will the top camera work better with focus? Bigger distance from the lens? Possibly. It's by default going to be focused there. So let's see if I pick this up and it's a little bit closer. Is it going to pick it up? Nope, not really. It's almost worse. There it goes. So this is about a foot from the lens, which is getting to the limit of what this lens can focus on, but I like it more different from the background in general. Anyway. Ari says, DJI seems the most versatile with the lanyard, but the iPhone is accessed fast and does a great job. Okay, let's see how the poll is doing. We've got... I don't have any way to show that. What happens if I... It just shows the question. We've got iPhone, the smallest, BGH1, iPhone 13, iPhone, GH5, iPhone, GoPro, all, iPhone, BGH1, GoPro, the ghostly invisible GH5. I did use the GH5 for a couple shots. The B-roll that I did in the studio was shot with the GH5, and that was this one. This shot, of course, was the GH5, and that was on one of the Edelkrone spinners. I think this is only slightly sped up from real time too. Chris says, I thought in California you can't mount anything on the windshield. I don't know. People seem to have lots of stuff mounted on the windshields. I don't know the rules because I don't own a car, much less drive in California. Peter says, what was the app for iPhone to Apple TV? Can't find it in the chat from last week or via search. Do you mean for showing your camera on an Apple TV? There's a couple apps to do it. You need a camera app that supports clean feed out. The one I've been using lately is called Shoot, which is almost impossible to search for. Let me see if I can find it. Because if I just search Shoot, it finds all the chapters about troubleshooting. Shoot iPhone clean camera. Is that... Shoot Pro Webcam and Telestrator. That's the full name. I'm going to drop that into the chat. Shoot Pro Webcam and Telestrator. And there's the link for the US store anyway. Okay. What is the... where are we? 11:04. We got a few more minutes. Oh, interesting. YouTube just sent me this notification in the YouTube studio since I had it up here. It said this would be a good time to insert ads. And I'm really curious what that does to you watching. So we're going to give that a try. This is going to be a little experiment. I'm going to insert ads into the stream, and I don't know what that means because... Is everybody going to see ads? Is everybody going to see ads and then not see me? Or are they going to see ads on top of me? So we're going to do a little experiment. Where is my clock? I need to get a clock app. What was the? I've used it a bunch before. Countdown. There it is. We're going to do a little experiment, and I want to see what happens when I insert ads. So let's do, yeah, exactly. Premium subscribers. So what, if you have YouTube Premium, which means you normally don't see ads, what are you going to see? So what I'm going to do is get my iPad on the screen. Get my iPad on the screen. Where is that box? And we're going to run a timer. I'm going to insert ads, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to start the timer when I click the button. And I want you to tell me, does it interrupt the stream? Do you get a 15-second interstitial? When you come back, are you behind? Do you see the current? Like, we're going to find out. Also, what happens for the replays. So here we go. I'm going to start the timer as soon as I click insert ad. And here we go. Insert ad, ad inserted, as YouTube tells me. So there's an ad over here now. thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I guess one of the other things I should mention is if you have YouTube Premium, actually I end up getting more per view when people have YouTube Premium compared to watching it with ads. So if you did need an incentive to subscribe to YouTube Premium, it does help creators. So there is that. We're seeing some reports. It says ads with the countdown. Ari says premium here, still love your feed. Thanks. And again, you watching does support me directly from your YouTube Premium payment. Wood Turning Tool Store says, yep, got a 5-second removable ad. Ad here, but I skipped it at 7 seconds. So when you skipped it, did you lose the 7 seconds that I was live? Did it come back after the, like, that's why I have the counter on the screen. Did you skip ahead? Did you lose the 7 seconds? Did you not see it when you were watching the ad? Was my curious. And Brian says, I saw the ad and the clock runs on, so I saw it after 6 seconds. So my question is, I'm going to pause that. When you saw the ad, and let's say the timer was at like 26 seconds, and you watched a 6-second ad, the next thing you saw when you came back, was it at 32 seconds, or did it start back up at 26? That's what I want to know. You lose the 7 seconds. Yes, lost the 7 seconds. Time was lost, came back at 7 seconds. Okay, interesting. Came back to live. So now we know. Kenneth says, I'm watching the 2 ads and I could skip it, but I watched it and came back and the timer said 2 seconds. Kent says, saw an ad. Now I'm no longer live with you by the length of the ad. Oh, interesting. So people see different things then. Well, that is fascinating. Thank you for playing that game. Now we know. The answer is I can't. IT Never Gets Old said playback return to insertion point. Okay. So mixed results, which means I can't insert an ad and then run away because I'm still actually live. Well, that was a good experiment. Okay. We are going to completely change topics. So the, oh, let me get rid of the chat. The last thing I want to do here is prepare for Lily's stream. So in 20 minutes, Lily will be live talking about money and donuts. And I actually brought a donut from the donut shop I have here that I'm going to eat on her stream. But I am not there. So we're going to have to set this up to be a remote show. And hopefully this is going to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be streaming from here to her show. And the to do that, we need to give her some more Stream Deck buttons so that she can actually show me on her show. Basically her companion setup is, let me go ahead and bring this onto the screen. The way that we set hers up for her, now she's got the bigger Stream Deck, she has a page of buttons for donuts. We haven't actually done much rearranging since we got the bigger one for her, but now there's room to add stuff. So when she does a little donut segment, she goes over to here, can run the little intro for it, and then rate the donuts. I need to add buttons on here to let her bring me into the show. So my plan is I'm going to stream from here to the Magewell Pro Convert that's sitting in the studio on her side. And we're going to make a super source layout for me and her together, and then give her buttons to switch between her camera, me full screen, and the split view. That is the plan. That's the goal. So Philip says use a tiny thumbnail pic of you for the button icon. Okay, we can do that. Talking dough and eating donuts. Dough and donuts. Oh my dollar. Exactly. Yes. Okay. So a couple things we need to do. We need to make the super source layout, which means I need to get into the ATEM. Oh, she's texting me. Oh, okay. Everything's fine. I need to get into the ATEM over there to make the super source layout. What is the IP address? I always forget it. I think it's that. Yes, I'm right. There we go. That input, remote, that's the one I'll be streaming to. So we need to be able to see this. So I need to stream from this ATEM to unlisted YouTube video, maybe, or no, my Pro Convert. That should be possible. Do I have that set up already? I do. Great. I need to go plug in the stream key for it. You know, we should be able to actually do a bi-directional joint stream in theory, which would be pretty fun, where we're both in each other's live streams simultaneously. It'd be interesting. I think I want to try that at some point. Okay, let's stream to the Magewell. Where is the Magewell Pro Convert? Do I have any? What's this button do? Well, that's the right button. Something is, that's key 4 got turned, it became not a picture in picture. Here we go, DBE. That's what I wanted. That's the ATEM streaming to me. So now we can see what that ATEM is doing. So that means we can now create a super source. So let's do that and adjust the super source layout to be a split view. We're gonna then make we're gonna use the learn feature in Companion because that's my new favorite feature. So we're gonna make the super source look like what we want, and then we're going to, oh, there she is. She's getting ready. I should probably tell her that we're doing this. Let me do that. Okay. First of all, super source. We're going to get rid of the Apple TV and we're going to switch it over to remote. And then we want them to be side by side. Let's do that. Should we just do that layout? The default one actually is kind of nice. And then I will be showing up in the little box there, which I should be able to actually stream to right now. Let me do that really quick. Let me take my other ATEM that's streaming. She's waving. Audio is not on. But yeah, the ATEM outputs input 3 is going to be the main camera. There we go. And now we can take input 3 from that ATEM and stream to home with so many Pro Converts everywhere. I wish I could show you more what I'm doing, but it involves stream keys, so I can't. Let's see if that works. Haha, look at that. Okay. Now, so that's me streaming that camera to the Pro Convert at home, so I'm showing up in her ATEM. So there's a delay. That's the delay of the RTMP stream. Back to the other ATEM. Do you have 2 Pro Converts? I do have 2 Pro Converts. Yeah. If I get everything set up in time, I will discuss this. Okay. So now we're back on the super source layout. That looks fine. We're going to stick to that. So I need to go into Companion and make a button for this. This is going to be both of us. And we're going to go and say super source, change box properties. No. Oh, she doesn't have the new feature. The new 231 has the learn feature. Oh, I'm so mad. Okay, so we have to do this manually. That's going to take more time. Box 1, source. Box 1, size is 0.5. Position is negative 0.6 negative 6.32. Negative 6.32. Y is 3.5. No crop. And then super source set box source. Box 1 is set to main. Box 2. Now you can see why this is so much. With the learn feature, you can just set it the way you want, and then press learn, and it just copies all the properties in automatically. It's great. So set that to remote. Super source. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Change box properties for box 2. The size is 0.5. Position is 6.32. And Y is negative 3.5. Okay. That should do it. And then we need to go and say program. We're going to wait 50 milliseconds for that. I usually like to do that because it gives things a chance to settle down. That should do it. This one's going to be easy. We should be able to use a preset for program. That's main. And then that's me. So now we can go and do, let's see if this works. Main, that should be her. Full remote is me, and both is a split view, and that should set the super source properties. Not bad. Okay, so for this, we're gonna make. We're gonna choose an image. Let me find an image really quick to use with this. Clock is ticking. We're good. We're doing good though. Photos. Where's my little normal picture that I use for everything? Sure. No, not that one. This one. Close enough. Browse. Will it resize pictures? I don't remember. Only PNG files are supported. Great. I have to go and convert this to a PNG image. 72 by 58. So we can just take this, document, resize canvas, 72, and then, oh dear, that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to avoid paying Adobe for Photoshop forever, so trying to learn Affinity, and then we're gonna crop. Where's my resize canvas? And now 58. That looks right. Okay. And then I'm not centered, so we're gonna move myself up. Export that as a PNG. And that's me. And now I can go and load it in. Here. Yay! Okay, and then we can get rid of the text. Look at that button. Oh no! It's Halloween Echo! I forgot that I have... Sorry about that. I've just been rambling on this whole time. I forgot that I have the audio for the Magewell. So I've been sending my audio to the studio, and the audio comes back, and her audio was also live. Because my audio was also turned on her ATEM. I should have checked that. I totally forgot. Oh well, you saw what I was doing. I was not trying to do that. Spooky echo. Hopefully the other one was like quieter or something. Oh, it's right. It's actually a feedback loop on a 3-second delay because I send audio to there, it sends audio back, which is in my show, and I send audio back in. So what I actually need to do, if I was going to do this for real, is I'm not going to be streaming on my YouTube channel, but what I would need to do is the audio that I'm sending to her is the the program audio, but I need to send it just my microphone, which I did not do in the ATEM. So I will fix that. Want to help me set my pumpkin carving camera on your stream? Sure, we've got 9 minutes left. So I did get it ready in 15 minutes. That was pretty good. So yeah, I think we're good. So we have buttons for her on that to switch between her main camera, both of us, and just me. It would be nice to like get pictures in there, but I think we're gonna just not do that. I'm gonna say Lily on that one. Okay. What do you want to do for pumpkin carving camera? Question for Lily. We should have talked about this before I left because I can't. Need positioning help. Is this iPhone camera? I'm guessing it is. So let's go ahead and switch the super source to that. So I'm going to go, actually we should have a button for that somewhere. Let's do, where is it? That. Aha, I see the problem. So we're going to mess with super source now, and we're going to, what does that button do? That sets a bunch of super source properties too. So we're going to copy that, and we're going to make this a pumpkin camera layout. Box 1 is, let's go into the actual ATEM control and get this to look right. So we're gonna go and do, we're gonna do that. We're gonna slide that probably to the middle. And we only got 7 minutes. We're gonna make this pumpkin a little bit bigger. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. It's pretty good. Let's scoot it over a little bit. What I should be doing is using mix effect for this because it just makes things a lot easier, but I don't have time to get that working right now. Okay, that's pretty good. How do you feel about that? So all I did was position and size of box 2. So we go back to box 2 and, oh, there's no settings for it. Okay. So we're going to go and say super source set box properties. Box 2 size is 0.71. X is 4.22. Y is 0. This is why I want the learn button, because I could just click learn and then it would, yeah. No crop. And that should work. Okay. She's about to start her stream, so I can't keep pressing buttons anymore. Yep. I think we're good. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. And that means if we go look at her actual YouTube, she is almost live. Almost live. Eric says, I'm impressed. Truly fast fingers and absolute command of the UI on the ATEM software control and companion. Keyboard shortcuts are your friend for navigating companion. Pumpkin can looks good. Don't forget to switch back her streaming destination to YouTube. Thank you. That is why she's not live. Let's switch her back to YouTube. And I need to write down her stream key. Because I keep doing this. I don't have it saved. I have to do the little dance. Sorry. Do the little dance of, I guess we can get rid of the little overlay. Do the dance of switching accounts to grab her channel. Oh, she sent me the stream key. Thank you. That saves me some trouble. And there we go. Now she's streaming to YouTube. Here we go. And I'm going to save that stream key in my super secret place where I store keys. Okay, not bad. Am I pushing you to her stream via YouTube's feature? I sure am. As soon as she goes live, we will do that. So hopefully that works. should be good to go. And sorry about the double audio. Okay, that was fun. I will drop a link in here just in case the redirect doesn't work. Here's Lily's stream. Hopefully the layout, pumpkin layout works. And I will be joining her stream to eat this donut. Surprise donut. I won't tell you what it is yet. You'll have to join the stream to watch and find out. Cool. That was fun. Hopefully this works. And, oh, thank you for the super chat, Rich. Appreciate it. I'm going to wait till she's actually live to hit the end stream button. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate all of the questions and comments. And thank you, Rich, for that. Enjoyed the interactive camera quiz. It was a lot of fun. Yes, next week will be a little bit later for, I guess, everybody, because the US switches into daylight savings or removes daylight savings time next week. Yeah, should be all good to go. She's, oh geez, YouTube Studio is not recognizing the stream. I will go log in to see if I can press the button. YouTube Studio does this sometimes where it just literally doesn't let you push the go live button, even though it shows you the thumbnail of the video. It's really frustrating. I will try this. Go live and here we go. That little button. Excellent connection. That button needs to turn blue. There we go. Don't know why it didn't work for her. Now she's live. 2 minutes on the clock. All right. Thank you, everybody. The end. See you all again next week, or see you very soon on Lily's show.